Now let's move over to Lagos, where various states across Nigeria have been hit by fuel scarcity as long queue resumes at filling stations across the nation, especially in Lagos and Ogun State. Now this is the second time the most populous black nation is experiencing scarcity this year. News Central's Niyi Omoniyi feels the pulse of residents in Lagos as they share their experiences.
Yellow, green and blue in various colors and sizes, Lagos residents arranged their jerrycans at the pump of the few petrol stations as the fuel scarcity situation hits various parts of Lagos, southwest Nigeria, with more stations experiencing longer queues than others. For this station, the hope of motorists seems dashed as a technical issue has halted the sales of the premium motor spirit.
Initially, the queue was moving at a steady rate. I think all the pumps fuel was sold from all the pumps, but I think they have technical issues, which has taken about 4 hours. And so far, they've been good. I mean, they've been professional, they've been selling. But I think it's more of a technical issue with their gen and the fact that there's no light. And so that's why we're having the delay.
Aggrieved motorists, after staying for hours looking for fuel, appear to have found new friends here and perhaps resigned to fate.
We are just seeing queue suddenly. We don't know the cause. Maybe it's the marketer that did not supply, or they have, we don't know what is, or they want to increase. Maybe that's what people are suggesting. It makes me feel bad because how long are we going to continue in this mess? This is a mess.
Managers of filling stations speaking off camera said the likely cause of the scarcity is the high cost of diesel used in transporting petrol across the country. For the motorists, it's a case of when would these come to an end.
Diesel no day, gas no day, kerosene no fit buy, charcoal, wahala, firewood. You know if you use that for landlord, you don't even see firewood. Which one one way could do? Please, you be where even the what you want to do? Gas now, no fit buy 6 liters of gas now. They say 5,800. What you want to do now? You know, like if when at some place I say they sell 200 naira per liter. Make you even see me buy me come out. Since morning, since 7 o'clock now we dey here. Say I'm out over back. Please, Nigeria, I don't know what you do. Anywhere we do, may they forgive us.
It is the second time this year that the states across the nation experienced these, as early signs of the scarcity surfaced last Wednesday in Lagos, following weeks of scarcity in Abuja, the nation's federal capital territory. Niyi Omoniyi, reporting for News Central.
Now that's a very, very heartbreaking situation that citizens in Lagos, Nigeria are experiencing, and this is one that has hit almost everybody as people have to stand in long queues. You know, we're all affected in this. Now, joining us this morning to discuss the situation is energy expert Adeola. Yusuf, thank you very much for joining us.
I'm happy to be on the program this morning.
We're happy to have you. Now, we know that this is the second time in the space of a year, or 3 months, I beg your pardon, that the scarcity of fuel is being experienced. What exactly is happening in Nigeria?
Okay, it's still the unfortunate situation that we have found ourselves. It's not out of place to remind us that Nigeria, up till this morning, is the biggest exporter of crude oil in Africa, and unfortunately the biggest importer of petroleum products in Africa, if not in the world. So we have been having this situation even before now, and a lot of talks are around, fuel subsidy, its removal, or allowing the government to keep paying it. The talks have been around, moribund refineries that we have in the country. It's important that we do some background. We lay some background into this matter. As from the fact that Nigeria is the biggest oil exporter in whole Africa, we have been made to be the biggest importer of petrol products because of the fact that our refineries are not working. We have 4 of them, the 4 public refineries. We have 2 in Port Harcourt 1 and 2. We have 1 in Warri, and we have 1 in Kaduna. As I'm talking to you now, unfortunately, all the 4 are not working to capacity. There are times that we have even been told that those assets are working, and Nigeria is spending a lot of money on those assets, and those assets are not even making one naira. They are making 0 naira at some point.
Mr. Yusuf, apologies, sorry to cut in here. I think, everyone has, of course, understood Nigeria's challenges. We don't, get to refine any drop of crude oil. We continue to export, and then import, refined crude oil. It has been a problem for a long time. The government has also promised to fix this. They failed. I remember that, about 2 years ago, they, made some arrangements to fix the Port Harcourt refinery. Nobody knows where that is. But what we're trying to understand is what's the reason for the present scarcity? Because that's the biggest question that everyone is asking. There's rumors that they're trying to, push the price up to 180 naira per liter. And so these are just, little bits of discomfort Nigerians will face before they accept that it has to be 180. Is there any truth, in this?
Okay, first of all, yesterday, the independent of Nigeria said that they are facing challenges.
We seem to be having challenges connecting this morning to Mr. Yusuf, and we're hoping that he'll be joining this conversation before we wrap it up, because it's a very important conversation, and I believe that he's making reference to the statements 2 days ago made by Ipman, where they explained that they have decided to shut down their operations because they no longer want to operate at a loss. Mr. Yusuf, do we have you here joining us again? Okay. The internet seems to not be cooperating with us in this very moment, but we hope that before we wrap up this morning that we can have you join us, to look at it. But, we'll try again to ask, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria did come out to say that they no longer want to operate because they're shutting down, because they're running at a loss. They said this is not a strike of any sort, but that they are running at a loss and they are shutting down. How should the government address this, Mr. Yusuf?
Okay, thank you much. It is true that the Ipman came out clearly to say that they were the ones that are shutting the reviews to solve motors. And the reason they gave that, they will be do that. They keep selling at 165 naira per liter. We should understand that even with that 165 naira per liter, that fuel stations are selling, Nigeria is still paying a lot of money as subsidy. So they have said that the challenges that they are facing at depot, we all understand that these marketers are not the ones that are taking the product directly from refineries abroad. We have depot owners that are taking these refineries from abroad. So those depot owners have hiked the price that they are selling for them. They have hiked the ex-depot price. So the makers are now saying that it will make sense, because we all know that they are all businessmen, that it will not make sense. They will keep running at loss if they keep selling at 165 naira. So deliberately they have said that there is no way they will sell below 101. And this has been the issue. As we speak now, a lot of them are going to Abuja, because I'm aware that a lot of them are going to Abuja, major oil marketers, the independent petroleum marketers, and some other stakeholders are going to Abuja to meet with the Minister of Petroleum Resources, President Muhammad Buhari, or through his representative, which is Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, on the issue that we are having in the country. So it's a messed up situation. The depot owners have hiked the ex-depot price, and the marketers are saying that they cannot sell below 180 naira if they want to make profit at all. And we could see that at the end of the day, it's Nigerians that are suffering all this. And the Nigerians, are the owners of a country that has biggest that is the biggest exporter of crude oil in sub-Saharan Africa. So it's very, very unfortunate that we're having this situation, and that is the reality we're having on ground.
All right, Mr. Yusuf, if you recall, a few years ago, the government had made statements saying that they had completely removed subsidy. Earlier this year, the Senate once again approved 4 trillion naira for petrol subsidy in 2022's budget. And so it's a little bit confusing. What would you say, happened to this subsidy payment removal plan? And do you think Nigerians are even ready for subsidy to be completely removed?
Okay, truth of matter is that Nigeria is still paying in trillions, yearly now fuel subsidy. You will remember that when the government made that announcement, they quickly went back to the National Assembly to do a supplementary budget of 3 trillion naira, to be paid in 6 months for subsidy. And at some point, they even said that 3 trillion naira will not be able to, catch up, will not be able to be enough to pay that subsidy. So it's clear now, with no of doubt that Nigeria government is paying subsidy, and they paying huge amount of money as subsidy. So I was trying to lay a background, about what has taken us to this, very unfortunate situation, because we need to understand that before we can know the solution. The subsidy has to be removed. When subsidy is removed, all of us are going to suffer it, because everyone is suffering it, all across the world. You can see what is happening to diesel now, because diesel is a deregulated product. We see what is happening to kerosene. That is what we are likely to have. So it is a reality that they want us to face, and there will be a way of denying us the access to the petroleum products, so that all of us will now start crying for that subsidy to be removed.
Well, I mean, will that be the answer? I mean, is that going to be the answer to this, periodic fuel scarcity every quarter that we Nigerians have been dealing with?
Okay, let me explain that situation so that we all know that will be the answer. Okay, so Nigeria is not refining products in country now. If Nigeria is refining the products in country, we will still say that there will be some point to be made by those that will be arguing against the removal of subsidy. Anytime we talk about removal of subsidy, 3 key areas are always thrown up. The first one is the legal area. The second one is the economic area. The third one is the social area. All of us, let me start from the social area. All of us believe that petroleum, because Nigeria is a crude oil producing country, petroleum products should be free of charge for everyone. So it should be a social amenities. It's something that everyone will be enjoying. But unfortunately, for those that are having that argument, this product, crude oil, is marketed and priced globally. What happened to it in Nigeria is happening to it all over the world. So that argument will not work. So there are another set of people that are looking at it from the legal perspective that, okay, because of the passage of the petroleum industry bill to an act and the signing of such document by President Muhammad Buhari last year, it is illegal now for Nigerian government to keep paying subsidy. Then the third set of people are those that are looking at it from the economic perspective, that government has no business in subsidy. Okay, so those that are looking at it from economic perspective will be the one that all the time that we are having issues of fuel crisis, they will be the one that will be having the last laugh. And the reason simply for that is that because this product is a product that is priced globally, anything that happens to it globally will definitely affect it in Nigeria. And if we keep paying subsidy, we'll keep using the money that we are supposed to use for other developmental issues, other social amenities, to keep paying this subsidy. And if you want to look at it fundamentally, it will mean that people that do not have the capacity to run one car, that are running 3 or 4 cars,
okay.
For people that are running 3 or 4 cars, maybe they will be consuming like say every day 100 liters of petrol. While someone that doesn't have a car, that usually go to his or her office with public transport, will still be, they will still be paying the subsidy of that person. So if you want to make it so clear, subsidy is supposed to be paid, even if it's to be paid at all, for those that are, running on, public transport, not someone that is so rich that it will be. And when you look at it very well, those are the ones that are even benefiting from the subsidy. So until this, government has the political will to remove the subsidy, we'll keep having this, back and forth, because fuel marketers, what will play out in a free market when there is nothing like subsidy is that all of these marketers will have the opportunity to to go and import, there will be free market, there will be competition in the market. First station A maybe first station A may be selling at a price that will be different from station B. And then there will be competition. What you just do as a car owner is to drive to the place that you know that their price is so okay for you. But
hopefully, Mr. Yusuf, in the interest of time, of course, hopefully, these are conversations that never stop until we find an answer, and we find, something that works for Nigerians, both the rich and the poor, like you've stated, and those who have 5 cars and those who do not have. But thank you very much for the time that we have this morning for your for sharing with us. And we hope that this comes to an end, but of course, looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much for having me, and good morning.